I think we're above it now, right?
Oh yeah, easily. We'll go up a little higher. As we get closer to the hills, you'll notice that we may pick up a few bumps. And that's because the wind is coming from this direction. That's what this is saying. The wind is coming from here. So if we get close to the hills and we're down low, we'll pick up a few bumps. If we get a little higher, we'll avoid a lot of those.
My senses are completely overwhelmed right now.
I figured as much.
I'm trying to figure out how am I going to manage all this information.
One step at a time, that's all it takes. All right, now, as soon as we get up right about here, I'll have you level out the airplane. Just push forward. Just try to use your left hand as much as possible. And right about there, hold that. About a fist worth above the horizon. Now, as it speeds up, it's going to still want to climb. So you have to push forward. You know, just let that left hand do most of the work. And right, you can reduce the power a little bit because it's going to want to accelerate. All right, keep pushing the nose down though. The left hand can't go, can't be lazy. All right, reduce power with your right hand. All right, keep reducing it until you hear the engine change. All right. Okay, good. You hear the pitch of the engine change, and as you pull that power back, you should feel the nose get a little heavier. So it doesn't want to climb. Feel that? Okay. So here you are, more or less in level flight. Now try to get it trimmed so that just, if you let go of the control right now, what happens? Nothing, okay. Now you want to check your plug there. Check. Go ahead and say something.
My mic is, okay. There we go.
There we go. That connector is suspect. Okay. We're climbing, if you can tell, see that, if the nose, there you go. Just a very subtle difference. As soon as you cross over here, we'll get into smooth air.
I'm not getting a side picture of when it's climbing. I have to actually go look at the instrumentation to see if we're climbing or not.
Well, that has to come with time because ultimately I should be able to block this out and have a pretty good indication. If it's about that far below the horizon, about a width of your fist. Okay, if the nose comes up like this as you look out the plane, you know you're in a climb. If it goes down like this,
that one I can feel.
This one, well, you may not even feel it, but this one right here, we're in a descent because the nose is pitched down further than what it was like right here. It's very subtle. This is what you want to try to, it's okay to look at the instruments, but correlate it with what you're seeing outside the airplane. Because in the end, that's going to help you a great deal. And that's a skill you're going to want to have and need to have in order to properly land the airplane.
Got it.
Okay, so here we are.
Is this Hatland Bay right here?
Half Bay is up that way.
Okay.
All right, so what I'd like you to do then is just do a nice gentle turn to the left. We'll do then after that we'll do a nice gentle turn to the right. Just get familiar with what we would have out turns. One thing you'll know that even in a shallow turn, there's a tendency of a plane to lose altitude in a turn.
I didn't want me to pull up a little bit?
Just a little bit, just a very little bit. If it's a steeper turn, it would be more. Okay, that was nice. Now we'll do under the right. Just get a feel for the sensitivity of the controls. Okay, and again, we're kind of losing altitude a little bit, so you just have to bring it back a little bit in terms of the pitch. Okay, now level out. Without looking at this now, see if you can get to level flight.
That's where I think the level.
Okay, that's pretty close, isn't it? Right there. Boom. That means you got that pretty well dialed in now. Okay, let's go full power. We're going to climb up to 4,000 feet. So full power and pitch up. Now, we'll pitch up. We still want to be able to see in front of us as we climb. So this is called a cruise climb, where we can actually still see what's in front of us as we're climbing. As we're climbing, you can do a gentle turn to the left in the climb. So keep pitching up though. You'll find this, the plane is very well mannered. It's not going to do anything surprising. But it takes a few flights to kind of develop that connection, that trust. Know what the airplane's going to do. Okay, we'll level off here. Keep climbing. Okay, now we'll do a 180 turn to the right while you're still climbing. Go ahead and pitch back. We can still climb. Here you would use just a little bit of right rudder, not much, right? And keep pulling back. Actually, if you pull back, you can actually trim it, so maintain that climb. If you let go of the control right now, probably, well, actually not. Feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's...
Okay, I thought it was, need to be trimmed a little bit.
Not fighting it at all.
Okay, well, we're going to go through a little exercise here, though. All right, so what I'd like you to do now, reduce.
Still climbing?
Yeah, we'll stay here. I said 4,000, but this is good. Reduce power to about 2,300. Actually, bring it back to 1,800. All the way back to 18. All right, now to hold back and hold the plane level. I'd like then to retrim it for level flight, so you can it'll hold this without your hands on the controls. All right, hold the nose up, look outside the airplane. All right, level flight. When we're going slower, it's a different picture. You have to actually pitch back more. So pull back, right about there. Now go ahead and trim for that. If you're pulling,
trim up?
If you're pulling back, you roll down.
Roll down.
Uh-huh. So you don't have to pull back. Keep pulling. All right. Roll back, roll some more. Roll some more. Keep rolling. Right there. Now let go for a minute. All right, maybe just a little bit more. You feel that nose come down just a fraction down. All right. You should be able to just hang here. Right about
came
there.
up.
That's right about there. All right. So this is semi-slow flight. All right, if you let go of the control, just let go. And we'll just stay here more or less. We can add a little bit of power. I'll help trim it too. The plane will just hang up here all day without any help from us. All right? Want to turn it? You just do it. So if you, the object at all times is to have it trimmed so that any given point in time you can just fly with your fingertips rather than having a full grip on the control. Just want to because you're going to feel the plane a lot better if you fly with your fingertips. Or just your fingers. But if you have a tight grip on the controls, then it's harder to get that feedback. Right? So let's just feel that for a minute, and then we're going to go back to normal flight. I'm going to have you bring the power up to 2,400. Now, as you do, the plane is going to go way up like that, so you have to push forward with your left hand as you do this. Right? Looking out in front of the airplane, keeping it down to level flight. Pushing with your left hand. All right, keep adding power as you push with your left hand. Pushing with the left. You just feel they're going to need a lot of trim.
Yes.
Okay, so you can reach down there, right about there. Push it down though with your left hand. Get down level. So we're still climbing. So it takes a lot of muscle. Now you can roll that wheel up until you don't need to push as much. Feel the difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that, more than anything else, is what we'd like you to get out of this lesson, is how effective that trim is to reducing your workload. Because if you don't trim it, and sometimes you're not even conscious of it, because you're just, like you say, your sensory overload. You're not even aware that you're having to push that much. Okay, good. Now we're going to try a descent. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to reduce the power, just like we did before, to about 1800 RPM. But this time we're going to let the plane come down. Last time we wanted to hold it level. Bring the power back to 1800. Right? Now the plane will want to drop down way loud, but we have to hold it up just a little bit. So right about there. And then you can retrim it to hold this descent.
I need to pull.
Right, if you're pulling, you roll it down just slightly. Just very little bit. Because if you do it too much, the plane will climb back up. All right, so this is good. If you let go, if you just lightly on the wheel, this is a nice, stable approach. Now this is the early stages to learning to land. You want to get a nice, stabilized approach. You want to get it trimmed right so that you're not having to fight the airplane. You have to work with the airplane. Have the airplane do most of the work, and you just guide it. It's the key to an effective landing. Right?
On with my connector here.
Are you not hearing me?
I can hear you, but my mic is not on.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once in a while, but it cuts in and out.
Okay. Oh, I know what the problem is, man. So let me try this.
Had it squelched?
Yeah, maybe it's the squelch. I had the squelch turned down too much, maybe. Okay, let's go back to normal power of 2400.
Is not available.
Let's go, we can point the other direction, get the sun out of our eyes. Nice. So you've never done this before, huh?
I'm completely overwhelmed right now, Mark.
Keep turning. Oh, you're doing great. This is perfectly natural at this stage, for the training, but, I do this enough that I can even now make assessments.
I wasn't watching at the altimeter, and I just realized we've lost quite a few.
Oh, that's all right. We did a descent back there, that's why. So if you go ahead and go full power, we'll climb back up to 3,500. We'll level off right here. You say you live in Los Gatos, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's actually turn to the right. Let's head over this direction.
Connect North approach on 127.15.
127.15, 58.
Amplified Zulu.
NorCal approach, Cessna 168-904, about 10 miles south of Woodside VOR, 3,400. Like to do some low-level air work over, Los Gatos before we're returning back to Palo Alto.
The aircraft on NorCal approach, standby and control change in progress.
Let's head this way. We'll go over the hill over here.
Aircraft over Woodside VOR. When do you want to do your air work?
Actually, we're Cessna 172S G1000, 10 miles south of Woodside, and I'd like to do some air work over Los Gatos.
You want to go up to 4,000?
0344.
0344 894. Say again?
You want to go up to 4,000 feet?
That'd be good. We'll stay at 4,000 until we cross over the hill. Let's turn to the right. We're gonna head over that way. Just want to set us up for going straight into Palo Alto. What we can do is we can set the marker right after.
We're landing at 12 o'clock and about a mile and a half northbound, 1,200.
We'll just stay on this heading right here. So just follow that blue bug, we call it.
Having a sight, Surfer 311.
Surfer 311, right at contact 10 Carlos Tower today.
All right, just go level flight, trim it.
615 Kilo Echo, you on frequency?
Reduce power a little bit also.
Go back a little bit?
Yeah. We always like to keep the power in the green arc, so about 2,500.
16894, you squawking that code?
I thought we had it there in just 1 second. Okay, there you go.
Okay, now it feels bright. It feels really...
10 miles south of Woodside View Water, Channel Dale.
I think the plane is trimmed.
1894 is 4,100.
Number 16894 out to check. Stay outside of Bravo.
Okay, remain outside of Bravo, 894. Now, it might be a little too hazy today, but I want to kind of cross the hill over here.
Right, a little bit?
So, yeah. So, you have a feel about right to you then?
Yes.
Okay. And let's roll out right here. All right, so let's experiment. Let's check it. Let go of the control. Absolutely perfect. Well, there's no white number in there. It means you're perfectly level. All right, in that little window. There's a delay to this too, though, about a 6-second delay. So that's pretty good, pretty darn good. Okay. If you've noticed, see if you can feel right now. You start to just get very sensitive to if the nose starts to come up or down. Now, we may hear updrafts or something beyond the control of our airplane. So there may be some external influences that might cause us to climb. A little bump there.
It's actually quite smooth out here.
Yeah. That's again because the wind is coming from behind us and to the left. And so what we can expect is, on the wind side of the bridge, we shouldn't feel any. When we get on the other side, we'll feel a little bit of bumps, of turbulence as a result of the wind coming over the ridge. Here's another thing I'd like to see if you can feel. Can you feel the plane kind of being pushed to the left?
Now that you mention it, yes, I can kind of see we're going sideways a little bit.
Yeah, that's the crosswind. That's the wind pushing us in that direction. The train is kind of going like this as we point. It's another good thing to develop is a sense as to what the wind is doing to the airplane. As soon as we cross over the ridge here, we'll descend down to 2,500 feet.
Oh, Thailand 145 Bravo, climbing out of Foxville through 3,000 feet.
1245 Bravo, North California Channel.
Are you always looking for traffic?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, this...
Bravo, 200 the GPS tower, but just try to approach VFR, your own discretion.
Yes, VFR, 45 Bravo. North California, Cessna 24896 with you at 4,400.
I'm going to get the ATIS from Palo Alto.
North California, Channel Dale, 29997.
997, Cessna 24896.
They're still on November.